rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events. This is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. I am your host, Rick. Oh, my goodness. You know, it's events like these that bring out the stupid in people. And yes, I do mean the stupid, because... and there's a lot of it apparently going around. I mean, look, it's, again, just to be 100% clear, it's tragic that a person lost their life, that the people surrounding that individual are also going to be paying the consequences for that individual's decisions and actions. But let's be real here. Okay, let's be real here. To sit there and, protest or go out and be like a Hollywood entertainer on a event stage, or, and, put on a pin and be like, yeah, I stand with her. Yeah, okay. Trump is, yeah. And put out all your freaking sycophantic, stupid comments. Yeah. Yeah, you fall into the stupid category. And what's even worse is, well, I don't know if this is even worse, but this certainly goes along with it, is all of the morons, the sycophantic morons on the mainstream media following along. And not only that, but also the sycophantic lunatic morons who follow not only the mainstream media and all of those superstars who have no freaking brains. I mean, let's be real here. Celebrities, and trust me, I'm not a celebrity. And if I ever become a celebrity, I swear, if I ever become as stupid as those people, feel free to slap the crap out of me, okay? Because that's ridiculous. For one, okay, they don't know or understand how the laws actually work. Yeah. Here we are once again with another criminal doing criminal behavior who did something stupid and basically ended up with the consequences of their actions, however sad that might be. And the rest of the world is being about as stupid as they can possibly be. And yes, I am using the word stupid, because that's exactly where we're at today. Is our word is full of stupid, apparently, because these people, they just don't get it. They don't understand. I've talked about this particular event for the last 3 episodes, and frankly, I'm getting a little tired of it. But I kind of have no other choice, because every single time I turn on the news or look on the social media, I keep getting hit with more stupid about this particular event. And I, of course, considering the fact that this show is based off of current events and news and politics, that I have no other choice. I have to comment on it. I mean, I can't just not talk about it, because I think it's utterly, stupid. But anyway, what is even more irritating is when you get on to the social media and you start having to post the exact same thing over and over and over and over, because these stupid people post the exact same thing over and over and over and over. But then you get locked out because of quote unquote spam. Yeah, spam. That's right. I got locked out of Facebook twice today, or actually yesterday and today, because I was supposedly spamming. Because I was basically saying the exact same thing over and over and over again, which is, that she essentially was she was breaking the law, and then she decided to turn her vehicle into a assault weapon. Yeah, that's it. And you know what's even it's even more ridiculous than that too is the fact that these people seem to think that ICE are not real agents. I saw that so many times over the weekend. ICE are not real agents. They can't blah blah blah. Yeah, well, ICE actually are real agents, folks. Just look up Title 8 of the United States Code, Section 1357. If you want to know what ICE can do. Oh, I posted that as well. I posted that a few times. People need to understand that ICE agents are federal agents. They are federal law enforcement. They can do what federal law enforcement officers can do, especially if they see a law being broken in front of them. They are responsible for pretty much everything under Title 18, just like any other federal officer is, just like any other federal agent is. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, again, all you have to do is look up Title 8. And you know what's even worse is in today's technological age, it is so freaking simple. Everybody has a computer in their pocket. It's known as your phone. Every single person has access to the internet. Now, granted, I don't sit here and, Google things because I know that Google is biased and will not show me the truth. It will show me what the leftist lunatics who program Google want you to see. And maybe that's part of the problem. I use this thing known as Brave, which doesn't follow Google. The Brave search engine will give you the truth. It even has its own AI. And that AI is more accurate than I've seen from Grok or ChatGPT or any of these other AIs, but not saying that I would necessarily believe in an AI. Anyway, that was a long-winded monologue. Holy crap, I'm 7.5 minutes into the show, and I haven't even gotten through the pledge or the headline sponsor. So let's go ahead and do that. Tonight, for the pledge... Yeah, I got to bring my blood pressure down a little bit. Tonight for the pledge, we have one of our fan favorites. We have Coco, Cam, and Sean. Coco, Cam, and Sean, who are reciting. They are on deck for the Pledge of Allegiance. They're over in the green room. They're getting ready. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know, Sean, well, he's a fan favorite. Sean is normally nonverbal autistic, but he gets so excited about this that he actually goes into a verbal mode. So what you're going to see, or what you're going to hear, I should say, you're going to hear Sean start off with Coco and Cam, and then he's going to drop into his normal nonverbal mode, and then he's going to come back out and finish it off for us. And believe me, our hearts, every single one of the Whiskey Warrior P1s, our hearts always swell whenever we hear this one. This is probably in the I'm going to say it's definitely in the top 5 of the 20 that I have here. It is definitely in the top 5. In fact, I might even go so far as to say this one is in the top 3 in terms of the fan favorites for the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you are of mine, please stand, remove your hats. If you're wearing one, like me, place your hand over your heart and follow along with Coco, Cam, and Sean as they recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And, of course, I thank you, Coco, Cam, and Sean, for that absolutely wonderful rendition of the pledge. If you would like to hear your rendition of the pledge played here on the program, all you need to do is record yourself performing the pledge in your style. Take that audio file, video file, whatever kind of file, and attach it to an email. Send it off to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online, and I will get you into the rotation. I have 20. I'm looking for 21. I'd actually like to get 2026. I would like to get 26 for 2026. So I'm at 20 right now. It's not really too hard. I just need to pick up 6 more. And then I'll have my 26 pledges for 2026. That would be fantastic. If you haven't submitted your pledge, please do so. And if you do it on your phone, you can use the share option. That's the S-H-A-R-E, share option. And once you do that, you can then send it off to fans at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans at AmericanPerspective.online. One of these years, I'm going to have to get out to go see Sean. I really am. It goes, well, Coco and Cam, too. I mean, let's face it. I mean, they're a package deal, 3 for 1, man. But yeah, I have to take a trip one of these years to go and see them. Anyway. All right, let's talk about tonight's headline sponsor. I am wearing one of their fabulous red, white, and blue shirts. Here they are, theflagshirt.com. You can get their wonderful shirts, all in America, patriotic styles, all styled for the red, white, and blue. You have men's, women's, kids, made in the USA, and they have the America 250 collection that has come out for the 250th anniversary of this great country that we call home, the greatest country that has ever graced this planet, right here. Go and take a look at theflagshirt.com. Take a choice, pick up as many as you can. And if you order $75 or more, you will receive free shipping. So if you order $75 or more of their product, you will receive free shipping. That is a constant. They have free shipping on $75 or more, but I know not everybody can do $75 or more. Sometimes all you want is just one shirt. You're not really looking, maybe 2 shirts. You're not really looking to spend a whole bunch of money on shirts. You're not like this crazy cat here who picked up, as many as I could. All you have to do at that point then is go ahead and pick up all your stuff. All right. And then I'm going to help you out. Here at American Perspective, we're going to help you out. Once you get everything into your cart and you're ready to go check out, then go and open up a new tab, go and visit flagshirt.americanperspective.online. That's flagshirt.americanperspective.online. And once you are there, you will be presented with a coupon code that you can copy and paste into the promo code box at checkout at theflagshirt.com and get $5 off your order on American Perspective. That's flagshirt.americanperspective.online. You'll be presented with that coupon code. Copy and paste that coupon code into the promo code box at checkout at theflagshirt.com. You'll get $5 off your order on American Perspective. Head on over to theflagshirt.com and get yourself patriotized. Patriotized like me. Well, anybody who might want to watch the Dan Bongino show, he is coming back. It is formally announced. He is coming back. He's going to return to broadcasting on February 2nd with a brand new 2-hour daily program airing weekdays starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 10 a.m. Eastern Time, February 2nd. Oh my gosh, Rumble is going to explode when Dan comes back. Because the show itself is going to be exclusively live streamed on Rumble. And it's going to be distributed on demand to all of the major audio podcast platforms, just like he used to do in the old days. So he will be back February 2nd, 2026, 2 hours per day, weekdays, from 10 a.m. till noon Eastern Time. For those of you that can't do math, that's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. here on the Pacific Coast. So, yeah, there you go. The internet is going to melt down on that day. I guarantee you. I'm excited. I've been waiting for him to come back. You know, it's pretty sad that he actually had to leave, but he did. He left, and boy, I'm just imagining what he's going to be like when he gets back on the air. February 2nd. Not that I really have any kind of competition with him, because let's face it, I am like a little tiny... I can't even think of the tiniest fish in the biggest pond that could ever be created. I am so small in comparison to him. He could swim by me and wouldn't even recognize that I was even stirring up any bit of the water. But let's just tell you, that is going to be an exciting day for sure. Rumble better be ready, man. I'm telling you, they're going to have probably millions watching the inaugural return of the Dan Bongino Show. All right, we're going to pause right now for a special public service announcement by none other than Sheriff Judd. Sheriff Judd has some really good advice for not only the protesters, but also for the political leadership of Minnesota. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what Sheriff Judd has to say.
Hello, everyone. Sheriff Grady Judd here. I've been asked by media outlets and several people to comment on the event that occurred in Minneapolis yesterday. Let me make one thing abundantly clear. You have to be accountable for your conduct. And that starts with the mayor. Did you hear his filthy talk? Did you hear his filthy, uninformed talk yesterday to the people not only of the city and the state, but across the nation? Shame on you. That's lack of professionalism. Now let's look at the event. The investigation's not complete. I am giving you context on the video clip that I saw. Law enforcement officers, federal law enforcement officers, ICE agents, were trying to take the occupant of the car out of the vehicle. During this encounter, the vehicle backed up and then drove directly at the ICE agent. That is a deadly weapon, a 2-ton deadly weapon. So what did the occupant expect? They should have expected to be shot when you commit a deadly assault on a law enforcement officer. So let's do this. Let's send out the message loud and clear. And it should start with the mayor, the police chief, the local sheriff, and the governor of Minnesota. Cooperate with law enforcement officers. Don't resist them. Don't violently resist them. If you do violently resist them, if you do felonious assaults with 2-ton weapons, expect to be shot.
There you go. That is your public service announcement by Sheriff Grady Judd from Florida. Now, I can't remember. I think he's Polk County, if I remember. This is a no-nonsense judge. This is a no-nonsense kind of guy. I said judge because Judd is his last name, but he's a sheriff. Oh, love this guy. Love this guy. Yes, it is Polk County. I was correct. I got to tell you, we need more sheriffs like this. We definitely need more police officers like this. In fact, you know what? I actually wasn't going to show this until a little bit later on, but I got to tell you, I'd much rather have a Sheriff Grady Judd than this idiot. Oh, my God. Folks, this is on the other side of the country. This is on the other side of the country. This guy is a chief of police in Portland, Oregon. Oh, my Lord. Talk about a differential in policing. Let's listen to this moron.
And what I can say is there is an association with the two folks yesterday and TDA. I hesitated to even share.
Okay, so real quick, he is talking about the two individuals that got shot after they had literally attacked Border Patrol agents with their car, once again. And yes, they were connected with Tren de Aragua. That's the TDA that he's talking about. Anyway, back to him.
Share this information initially because I'm very aware of the historic injustice of victim blaming, oftentimes portrayed by law enforcement, including this very agency that I've represented so proudly for so many years. And historically, we have not been quick to disclose the potential criminal history of others. But I felt it was imperative because I was asked yesterday in the news conference what information we have. This is information we have. This in no way draws a through line to the actions or the behaviors that occurred yesterday. I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community.
Okay, here's where it goes bad. Now notice, he just said he wanted to talk to the Latino community. Now, for those of you who are on the audio portion of the program, let's just say he's crying here coming up. You can't see it, but man, his brow is furrowing. He's trying hard to hold back those tears.
It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks, because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger. This information in no way is meant to disparage or to condone or support or agree with any of the actions that occurred yesterday. But it is important that we stay committed to the rule of law, that we stay committed to the facts, that we stay a trustworthy and legitimate police department for all of Portlanders.
You know what would make it to where you would be a trustworthy and trusted police department for all Portlanders? If you wouldn't cry. Okay? If you wouldn't tear up. Just freaking stand up and be honest and say, look, these people have Tren de Aragua ties. End of story. It has nothing to do with the, Latino community. Okay? Has nothing to do with it. These people were bad people. They're criminals. My God, grow some balls, man. Grow some serious cojones in the Spanish language. Jesus Christmas. You're a police officer and a police chief, for God's sakes. Ugh. I'd rather have a Sheriff Judd than this moron. Straight up. Just say the facts. See, this is part of the problem. If I say the facts, for an example, if I say the fact that it has been historically accurate that 50% of the violent crime in America has been perpetrated by a 13% of a specific ethnic group within our country, that's a fact. I don't have to sit here and explain to you, even though I happen to be of Caucasian skin color, doesn't mean anything. I am simply stating facts. Fact and statistics. The fact is that those two people who got shot whilst trying to not only attack the officers, but also to flee, both of which are criminal behavior as well, as Renee Good found out. And you're sitting there crying about having to admit this particular fact. What the hell? He should be gotten rid of immediately. Just summarily done. Kicked out. You're finished. Off the force. Just get out. And, leave your stars as you're on your way out. Because this is, oh my God, this is so damn stupid. Why? Well, speaking of stupid, the stupid continues in Minneapolis. Yes. If you happen to be a journalist who is covering the Minneapolis unrest, Lord be with you. That's all I'm just saying is, Lord be with you. May God be with you. Because apparently, independent journalist Cam Higbee was reportedly stalked and threatened while covering the escalating protests. Let's just be honest. These are not protests. These are freaking riots. The escalating protests in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Cam Higbee posted on X, "I was just stalked for over a mile with a person trying to agitate crowds against me, eventually leading to me being assaulted. That is illegal." Okay? That is illegal. Anyway, he says, "I called 911 before an angry mob formed. Officers did not respond. Dispatcher was impatient with me on the phone while he was being assaulted." By the way, he's not the only one. Apparently, there are several others that have been attacked or threatened. Folks, those are all of that stuff, by the way, all of that stuff is illegal. You cannot attack somebody. You cannot threaten somebody. That is all illegal. Okay? All of it. Anyway, I mean, this guy, unfortunately, he was told, "I'm going to hit you with my car." Yeah, after being stalked by this guy. It was during the Powderhorn Park protest, allegedly put on by a group called Indivisible. And Minneapolis, by the way, didn't even bother to respond to the call. See, these people are going to get people killed. These people are going to get people killed. Well, Minneapolis radicals are not going to ratchet down anything. They're going to just keep it going because apparently now they are distributing devices that are going to actually be designed, or are designed, I should say, to disable ICE vehicles. So anti-ICE activists have begun distributing tire deflating devices and instructions to their fellow agitators in Minneapolis in the hopes of hindering immigration enforcement operations in the city. This was from a local politician. Jeremy Munson. These tire deflating devices are being distributed in the Dinkytown neighborhood of Minneapolis near the University of Minnesota so people can sabotage police officers, endangering their lives as they drive vehicles with flat tires. Sorry. Anyway, he goes, "This is criminal and teaching college kids." Yeah. So the devices themselves are 3D printed, quote, tire drainers, and they were distributed in a neighborhood near the University of Minnesota with attached instructions and a link to the design file. The package that was picked up by Jerry Munson, who is a former state representative, held 5 of these devices. The flyer attached to it read, "See an ICE vehicle left unattended? Protect your community by draining their tires." Here's the instructions. Number 1, get a spotter to watch your back. Number 2, locate their tire valve and screw the drainer on. Be swift and don't get caught. As soon as the tire starts draining air, distance yourself from the vehicle. Do not attempt to recover the drainer. It is illegal. ICE cannot operate without their vehicles. Disabling their vehicles will likely significantly disrupt their plans. Hey, folks, hello, 18, Title 18, United States Code, Section 111. You are now in violation of it. Now on the reverse side of the, and it carries the caution, attempt at your own risk. Yeah. Yeah. These people are completely and utterly stupid. Okay? They are dumb. By the way, for those of you that have been going back and forth with the idiots on social media who sit there and talk about, this officer, this ICE officer, he needs to be charged. He needs to be thrown in jail for murder, blah, blah, blah. There is an awesome piece, and it's an opinion piece, but hat tip to Shipwrecked Crew from X. Oh, my gosh. This is fantastic, folks. Here's the piece. It's in a red state, or it's printed in red state. Minneapolis is not even a close call. It's a law splainer on officer-involved shootings. Now, it's a long piece, but I'm telling you, it goes through every single case law that has occurred in the modern history with regards to police use of force. It walks you through the entire situation. The entire situation, it walks you through it. Now, I would highly recommend for all of my Whiskey Warriors and for anybody who is really interested, not only to read this and gain familiarity with some of the case law that is involved here, but to also take the link and copy it. Okay? Seriously. I mean, let's just face it. This is a legal matter. And it even starts with what I just quoted, 18 U.S.C. Section 111. Talks about the section reference, Section 1114, which includes the designation of any officer or employee of the United States or any agency in any branch of the United States government, including any member of the uniformed services, while such an officer or an employee is engaged in or on account of the performance of official duties. You cannot assault, resist, oppose, impede, intimidate, interfere with such employees while they are engaged in all of this. It continues and talks about things like, the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals, which includes the District of Minnesota, adopting the Manual of Model Jury Instructions. It defines the elements of certain crimes. In this particular one, it says an assault is any intentional or voluntary attempt to threat or do injury to the person of another, when coupled with the apparent present ability to do so sufficient to put the person against whom the attempt is made in fear of immediate bodily harm. Footnote 7 states that even if there is no physical contact, the force requirement is satisfied even if the defendant's conduct places the officer in fear of his life or safety. And it points out to United States versus Yates, United States versus Street, and a whole bunch of others. Folks, this article, I'm telling you, walks through the entire thing, piece by piece by piece. And it goes through the entire process, the entire legal standing that this officer, this federal law enforcement officer, under Title 8, Section 1357, was allowed to do. And this is even supported by the Department of Justice document that is the deadly force policy. It reinforces that, I should say. Folks, I don't come onto this program and sit here and just spew crap out of my mouth. I back it up with receipts. I back it up with truth, honest, logic, facts, evidence, reason. It's all there. constitutional background, historical background. This is what I do here on this show. But this particular piece, and again, it's in red state. The link is in the description of the video. Grab it. It says Minneapolis is not even a close call. It's a complete loss splainer. You guys and everybody else, just link to that. Anytime you hear somebody talking about, oh, he committed murder, he needs to go. No, just link to it. Just link to this article, because this article explains it and takes it out piece by piece by piece. Exactly all of the laws, all of the case law that is pertinent to the situation. It's all here. All here. Well, a lot of people are sitting here thinking, oh, well, Rebecca Good. Now, that's the wife of the woman, Renee Good, who was shot. Rebecca Good. Oh, my gosh. She's, getting all this money. She didn't do anything wrong either. Oh, she didn't do anything at all. Yeah, not quite. Not quite. Turns out she can also be charged. You know that little spot in the video where she says, drive, baby, drive? Well, not only is she, not only is she in cahoots with Renee, by the way, for doing all of this, but now she kind of opened by saying that drive, baby, drive. She has now opened herself up to a potential crime as well. I'm going to let Greg Jarrett give you an explanation as to why Rebecca might be in trouble. Take a listen.
It is true that she impeded the officers, and they have footage of her doing it the entire day. But how do you link that to a broader push for domestic terrorism? I think that's the part where some people struggle.
Well, it goes down to the motive. Was this done to be anti-government and to try to change the behavior of ICE? And if the answer is yes, and there's considerable evidence that that was her motive, she was part of the resistance involved in trying to obstruct and block and hinder ICE, then sure, that's domestic terrorism. It would be important if there was a prosecution here, but of course, the driver, Renee Good, is deceased, although, you heard the videotape in which her wife was saying, drive, baby, drive.
Right.
Well, that could be aiding and abetting fleeing police with a domestic terrorism motive. So, it still is relevant.
It's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Are you serious? You mean to tell me that just by saying drive, baby, drive, that she actually could have aided or abetted? Yeah. Yeah. By the way, here's the Cornell Law School legal definition of aiding and abetting. Oh, Rebecca might not be out of the woods on this one. Here it is. Aid and abet. To aid and abet means to assist someone in committing or to encourage someone to commit a crime. Generally, the person who aids and abets is criminally liable in the same extent as the person committing the crime. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. Guess what? That means that Rebecca could be in for up to 20 years in prison as well. What am I talking about? Well, under Title 18, United States Code, Section 111, the punishment for assaulting a police officer with a weapon comes with a prison sentence of up to 20 years in prison, which is what Renee would have been facing had she survived all of this. Now, not that I'm trying to encourage this, but I'm just going to say, you know what? If these legal eagles on the left, or no, sorry, on the in the administration went after this, yeah. And Nana asks the question, would it be a federal charge for the wife? Absolutely. That is a federal violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 111. Yes. Yes, it would. Now, that's just one singular charge. There's several other charges as well, such as resisting arrest, attempting to flee, all kinds of other things that could be added on. I mean, my Whiskey Warrior P1s over here on Rumble are like hitting, animal endangerment. Yeah, because they had the damn dog in the car. Could it be child endangerment? Yeah, because she's decided, or child abandonment, because she's, decided to leave her kid or whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could possibly be added on to all of this. Yeah. This just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse for these folks. Well, before I go any further, though, I do want to talk to you about this wonderful elixir that I have every single morning. It's called coffee. And even though I put a little creamer in mine, because, let's face it, I like a little cream in my coffee. If you still haven't tried 1775 coffee, now is your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. There's only 1,000 units available. In each unit, you're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All of these coffees are single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you'll also be getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee, as well as your mother-in-law's opinions. Let's be honest, neither one of them is really all that hard. And you'll also be getting a black 1775 tumbler. It's $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for just $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 coffee blow up on Rumble and wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler alert, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com. That's 1775coffee, all one word, .com/studio, STUDIO, and grab your starter kit before they are gone. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio to get that starter kit. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Go to 1775coffee.com/ that's the question mark key on your keyboard, /studio, and grab your starter kit today. All right. Well, Minnesota, the city of Minneapolis, and the city of St. Paul, well, they decided to up the ante. And man, are they stupid. Oh my gosh, they are dumb. So, apparently Minnesota's AG, Attorney General Keith Ellison, said in a Monday news conference that, well, we're filing a lawsuit. They filed a lawsuit today. The city and the state filed a lawsuit against the federal government for this, quote, federal invasion. They are arguing that the unprecedented federal immigration operation is a, quote, federal invasion, and they're seeking a court order to halt the crackdown. I think they're going to run across a few things. First of all, whoever the federal judge is that gets this, if they're not a leftist lunatic dumbass, they should immediately say you have no standing and kick them out, because they don't. If ever there was a case where this was to be dismissed because the state has no standing, this would be it right here. Folks, there's a supremacy clause in the Constitution of the United States that basically says that the federal law supersedes any state law when they are in conflict automatically. That the federal law and anything that the federal government is doing is 100% in their purview. That's established immigration law. Immigration is 100% and has been upheld by several SCOTUSs throughout history, is 100% the responsibility of the federal government, and the state and local governments are supposed to assist the federal government due to the supremacy clause. Not to mention the fact that we also have the 10th Amendment, which basically states that anything that is in the Constitution that is specifically for the federal government, which immigration is not in the purview of the states. Yeah. I don't think this is really going to go anywhere. These idiots claim that they're a sanctuary state. They already said, which, by the way, all of that falls under the Insurrection Act as a qualifier, because they refused. Yes, I'm emphasizing that on purpose. They refused to actually enforce federal law. So they already violated the supremacy clause. They already did the not so family friendly double-barreled middle finger to the federal government when it came to immigration. So by all legal aspects, as of right now, if the president decided and said, guess what? I'm declaring the Insurrection Act. All of you people are done, and we're putting federal forces in the state of Minnesota. There's nothing they could do legally. There is nothing they could do. These people are so damn stupid. They're standing here and they're going, well, you know, we're gonna argue in court that you know, this is unprecedented, that this is a federal invasion, when it's entirely the federal government's job to enforce, and that you dumbasses, aren't even helping out. You refused to help out, which basically means the Insurrection Act comes into play. I've discussed all of this over the last 3 episodes. And if you aren't a Whiskey Warrior P1 watching my other episodes, you really need to go and watch those other 3. I break everything down that I am telling you. This is all factual. 100% factual. It is all backed up by case law, by law, statute. It's all there. This is ridiculous. These people are incredibly stupid. Oh, and by the way, Illinois and the city of Chicago, not to be outdone, they went ahead and sued the Trump administration also for what is, they're saying that the Department of Homeland Security has terrorized residents in organized bombardment. Yeah. The suit is arguing that the federal government is violating, oh my God, they're saying that they're putting it on and saying that the 10th Amendment was violated? What? No. That's going to fly over. Oh, that's really going to fly very well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's just see. Excuse me, Judge. Can you ask the state and the state prosecutors, have they ever enforced federal law in accordance with the Supremacy Clause Or are they refusing? Which essentially means that we could kick in the Insurrection Act. Could you ask could you, Your Honor, please ask them if they are if they have refused to enforce federal government law as the Supremacy Clause states that they must do, because they're a part of the United States. Yeah. I don't think this is going to go quite as well as what they think is going to happen. You know, and what's sad about all of this is that seriously, what's sad about all of this is the fact that none of this would be happening. Renee would still be alive. The Tren de Aragua members would maybe still be alive. All of the people who have had their lives upended, like the quote-unquote Maryland man, would still be alive for one simple reason, and one simple reason only. If the Biden administration had just enforced rather than ignored immigration law. If the Biden administration or even the local law enforcement had not made a conscious decision to refuse to follow federal law, okay, refused to follow federal law, all of this stuff would have been completely avoided. All of this would have been completely avoided if all they did was actually enforce the laws that are on the books as they are required to. But no, because leftists feel like they can just ignore the Constitution, can ignore the laws of this country, and be like, well, we're just going to let anybody in that wants to because we don't believe in borders. Well, guess what? You've gone through the FA. Now you're getting ready to go through the FO, which is you're going to find out. Correction to my previous statement. Apparently, the TDA couple, and thanks to my unofficial producer, the TDA couple, the Tren de Aragua couple survived. Well, you know, it's kind of interesting. Kind of, but not really. But it's kind of interesting that the vast majority of the people who are pushing all of this are white liberal women. Yes, white liberal women. Uh-oh. What is going on here? Do not adjust your set. Ignore what's going on behind. Because, that was an interesting little thing. Don't worry about that. That is not you. That was me. That's my video. My video has a spot in it that has that. So, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, white liberal women are all crazy. And they all go nuts over this stuff. In fact, there's a new... Yeah, the background. That was me. That was the background. Don't worry about that. I gotta change this. Anyway, pay no attention to the pixels that are behind Rick. Yes, that's right. Pay no attention to those. Anyway, as I was saying, the left apparently is just, I mean, they're just nuts. There's a new article out, or a new what do you call it? A new survey out, something like that, which puts the awfuls, that's the affluent white liberal women, they are very upset. They are very unhappy. They are, and it's not just older women too, by the way. It's all affluent white leftist lunatics and that happen to be female. They identify, any of them who identify as liberal from in the 18 to 44 range, they say that 61% of them want violence against ICE enforcement, and even if it breaks the law. Yeah. These people are nuts. Well, guess what? There is a group of individuals, and I got to get this in under the wire, but there is a group of individuals who are not interested. They don't want anything with this. And let me explain. Guess what? It is, it's, those persons of color that the white liberal women keep trying to survive or keep trying to save. Yeah, no, they don't want a single part of it. Take a listen to this young gentleman who happens to be of black skin color.
It has come to my attention that white liberals are acting like crazy black hood rats, and I need to help them, because if I don't, then more of them will be unalive. Let's talk about police safety. So police safety, we've all had these conversations with our children. Well, I mean, I guess us black people have had these conversations, and when it comes down to it, if you want to survive a law enforcement interaction, what you got to do is comply. Yeah, it's called follow the rules. Follow what the law enforcement officer says. So if you're speeding and a cop pulls you over, you should stop. And then you should comply with his directives or her directives. And if you're about to mow one down, I suggest you not, because then you might be faced with what's called consequences for your actions, which, they can vary from a number of different things. But bottom line is that since you decided to start acting like hood rats and participate in the ghetto culture, I want you to survive. I want you to be okay, because at the end of the day, you're still humans. I still love you. You're still Americans. But yeah, your behavior is that of someone who is a hoodlum. And so I'm just helping you out a little bit. And hopefully next time you run into law enforcement, you'll appreciate them, because they want to go home too, but they also have a job to do. So maybe you can stop obstructing their work. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day. Oh, I'm sorry if I offended you with the God bless you, but God bless you. Have a good day.
He's not the only one, too, by the way. There's another one. Let's see. Here's one. Well, actually, I got to back up. There's a Mexican, or I should say a Hispanic gentleman who, let's just say that he, he's got some choice words. I apologize for the cussing. But this
greed sickens me.
Sorry, this is an ad. I don't know why. Anyway, I don't know what the heck happened there. That was not what I wanted. That was a TikTok video that was not what I wanted. Anyway, moving on. Here's another one.
Renee Good was killed during an ICE raid gone terribly wrong, and it is beyond tragic. Everyone obviously has an opinion on this, and I commented on a post where someone said, Renee could have been any one of us, and I simply said, could have never been me, because I don't interfere with federal ICE enforcement. I cited U.S. code, and predictably, I got dragged in the comments. ICE hates you. You're justifying murder. They didn't have a warrant. She had a right to flee. You're next. It was all expected. But guys, ICE agents are federal officers, and under federal law, specifically 18 U.S. Code sections 111 and 372, assaulting, resisting, impeding, or conspiring to interfere with a federal officer doing their job is a crime. That includes blocking them, chasing them, surrounding them, or physically interfering with their operation. Should that get someone shot? No. But can it escalate into deadly consequences? Clearly, yes. And that is a risk far too many civilians are being convinced to take right now. Someone is dead, and that is horrific, no matter how you spin it. The investigation will determine exactly what happened, but people can debate video angles and split-second decisions and alleged ties to ICE watch groups all day long. But regardless of the details of this case, the fact that groups like this exist at all, encouraging civilians to track and confront federal agents, should terrify us. We've normalized the idea that suburban moms can grab their phone, hop in their Kia Telluride, and pull alongside an active enforcement operation against trained agents with guns and somehow expect to walk away untouched because someone told them that that's activism. That is insane. This lie is pushed by people who benefit from chaos, media outlets doing it from behind cozy desks, chasing outrage and headlines, politicians doing it from comfortable offices, chasing votes, and loud and wrong content creators doing it from behind their phones, chasing clicks, with no understanding of the law they're encouraging others to break. They're using compassionate people as fuel. You don't have to like ICE. You don't have to support immigration enforcement. But deporting people who are here illegally is not new. It has existed under every administration, including Obama, our deporter-in-chief. What is new is convincing everyday civilians, moms in their cars, bystanders in the street, that stepping between an armed federal officer and his mission is smart, righteous, or consequence-free. That is not bravery. That is not activism. That is delusion, and it has now gotten someone killed. Political battles belong in elections, courts, and legislatures, not in the streets. And for the love of God, please stop letting people who profit from outrage convince you to risk your life for their headlines.
Exactly. That is correct. Oh my gosh. Well, it's not done yet. Here's another one. Here's another one.
The audacity is insane. Some people feel entitled to provoke, challenge, and attack law enforcement, then act shocked when consequences come. Grown adults acting like fools is beyond exhausting, and then they want outrage with zero responsibility. Every week it's a new protest. Do these people even have jobs? At this point, I'm convinced protesting has become a lucrative business for some of them. Right up there with Black Lives Matter fundraising or running daycare and home care services. Let me make myself clear. I hate what happened. Truly, I wish there had been another way to subdue her. No normal person wants to see a life lost. But the audacity still matters. Two things can be true at once. You can mourn a tragedy and call out reckless behavior. You can want accountability and expect adults to act like adults.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah. Jeez. Easy idiots, I'm just telling you. And it's going to get worse, folks. It is going to get worse. These delusional dingbats, sorry, I'm stealing a phrase, but these delusional dingbats are going to get even worse. Folks, there is absolutely no way in hell that you should ever try to impede, obstruct, get in front of, get in a police officer's face. You will lose every single time. The only time that you are going to have, any sort of chance is in the courts. Don't be the stupid one and break the law to go out and do this. And all of the protesters that protested this past weekend over the fact that, Renee Good, she's just a white suburban mom who was just pulling out of her driveway. I don't even know what other kinds of freaking lies were sold. But none of that is going to matter. Because the fact of the matter is that she made a conscious choice to push her foot on the pedal. Her wife made the conscious choice to tell her to drive. And for those of you who are out there saying that ICE is not proper law enforcement or anything else, or they don't get enough training, that is unquestionably a bunch of complete, utter, asinine bullshit. They are federal law enforcement officers, no different than any other federal law enforcement officer. In fact, they go through the same firearms training. They all go through the same stuff. There is no difference, realistically. Their job is more, more centralized or more focused on one particular area, but they can transfer from ICE to the FBI to any other place. They can transfer however they want. These people are federal law enforcement agents, and obstructing them is against the law. And if you do something stupid while obstructing them, that could very well get you seriously hurt or even killed, as Renee Good found out. All right, folks, I'm 5 minutes over. I'm done. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It is free. And once you are signed up and signed in, make sure that you search up the American Perspective channel and hit that green follow button to get notified every time I go live. Also, too, don't forget to hit me or give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or in the case of 3 Chevy, a thumbs sideways across all my platforms. Whether it's X, YouTube, Facebook, or, of course, the aforementioned Rumble. We will see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on American Perspective. Have a great rest of your evening, and good night, everybody.